Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here on the final segment. Want to welcome in Will Herring, former Auburn Tiger. And, Will, first of all, let me say thank you, talking to you this past couple of weeks and trying to find time in your schedule to be a regular here on the program. We're excited to have you, buddy.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you guys both, Randy, Brett, for having me. You guys are a lot of fun to listen to, and just appreciate the opportunity.
Well, Will, going back to your playing days at Auburn and, leading all the way up to, I want to start with one thing, and then I'm going to let Randy kind of hone in on this. But, this college football is just so different nowadays, and trying to find, and Coach Freeze saying it yesterday, educating this team on the importance of this rivalry. You have to take a step back and think about that statement. Kids flipping and flopping and getting a roster turnover like you got Auburn. I mean, a lot of these kids haven't been on campus 6, maybe 9 months max, and you don't realize until you hear that, hey, they maybe don't know very much about this rivalry. It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's hard for me to get into the head of a young man that may have grown up in Arkansas or Florida or even Georgia next door. But for me, just growing up in Opelika, Auburn, college football was everything. And all of my relatives, they either pulled for Auburn or Alabama. And I had no idea how big the NFL was. I thought like college football was 10 times bigger than the NFL. Growing up where I did. And, But yeah, the rivalry is very special. It means so much to the people in our state, and I remember going off to Seattle, and when the Iron Bowl took place, people kind of stopped what they were doing. Like in our locker room, there was guys from all over, but that Iron Bowl, people paid attention to it from around the country. Other guys from different universities. Obviously, it's funnest when both teams are competing for a championship and top 10 teams. I remember being in the New Orleans locker room and betting against Mark Ingram, and me and Ben Groves were down there with Mark and Roman Harper, and we had a little wager going with each other on attire, and whoever lost had to wear the other team's attire. So when we beat Mark, when we beat Alabama, I think it was 2013, if I'm not mistaken. I had him a lineup of orange and blue. The whole following week, and he walked around like a whipped puppy dog in that Auburn gear. But it was so fun to see, or it's so interesting to see. Like everybody, that was all anybody was talking about in the week leading up to that game.
Will, I'm interested to hear, look, I listened in on Saturday, and I've listened in to a lot of your broadcast, and being a broadcaster myself, I like to listen and see, and a lot of times I'll have the game on, but I'll turn the local. So I wanted to ask you, are you enjoying it? You seem to be really bringing a lot of personality to the sideline, so I wanted to start there. Are you enjoying doing the broadcasting?
I am. I'm having a ball. I'm in a very busy phase of my life. I've got 4 youngins, a lot of just activities. You know how it is when you got kids ages 4 up to 11, and so I'm when they came to me with the idea, I was like, man, this would be so much fun. But my wife is gonna skin my hide if I even bring this up. And when I did, she's always been so supportive, but she was excited for me. She's like, Will, and I brought it to her. I told the guys, I told Andy Bertram and the guys at the radio, give me a week or 2 to pray about it and talk about it with my wife. And basically, we went back to the guys and said, the radio, or I did, and said, hey, Ronnie and I talked, and what do y'all think about us tag teaming it? Because 12 weeks, 13 weeks in a row is a little much for either of us in the phase of life that we're in. But being able to lean on each other and sub in and out, it's been a perfect fit, I think, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I've had a ball calling these games, and then the next week I might be off and I'm back over there tailgating with my family having a good time. So it's been a lot of fun.
Couple of more minutes here on this segment. Will, real quick, did you have a sense Saturday that maybe the passion was off? I know that's been the talk. You being on the sideline, did you get a feel of that?
The boys didn't bring the energy, and I've grown to know these guys and love these guys. And I've been there. Like I've been warming up before a game where it just, you just couldn't get yourself up. But at the end of the day, when you put on that helmet, you represent something greater than yourself. And we didn't handle business. Like I'm sitting in the office right now helping folks with their mortgage, and some days I don't really feel like being here. But you know what? I got a job to do, and these boys have a job to do week in and week out. And they're the first to tell you, and several of them have taken ownership, including the coaching staff. They just didn't handle business on Saturday. And, it's disheartening because we've come so far just in watching them progress the last 3 weeks prior to the game. But you know what? You learn from it. Hopefully you grow up and you mature, because I don't think it's we know that we're lacking in talent. Like we're not anywhere close to an LSU or even an Ole Miss right now, and then Alabama and Georgia on another stratosphere. I think our momentum and our trajectory and the energy and the Auburn base is heading in the direction it's going to take to get the right guys in here. But that little quarterback for New Mexico State, to watch a kid scramble, sprint, roll out to the left, and throw. I can think of Brett Favre and then Aaron Rodgers. That is who he reminded me of. They beat us. They just beat us. They lined up and they beat us. And we got to mature because that's what it comes down to is showing up and taking a business-like approach on these, I call them pillow fight games, on these games where, you know what, you don't circle New Mexico State on the map, but you still got to show up and handle business.
Will, I know we're coming to the close, and we'll lose our TV viewers here in about 30 seconds, but I want to end because we got a lot of people watching online and on YouTube. Just to finish up, first of all, really appreciate you being on the program and agreeing to be part of our program on Tuesdays and try to be a regular guest here. But I want to get your take on moving into the Iron Bowl. Obviously, you gave a description of trying to rebound and all that. You just got to turn the page and you got to focus on what's at hand now. And then in closing, Will, I want you to kind of promo what you're up to now in Auburn for business.
Yeah, I'll try to be quick, but the Iron Bowl year in and year out, it seems like no matter how on paper how far apart the two opponents are, even when I was there, we on paper were much better than Alabama. They always played us daggum tough, and it was always a tough fist fight for 3 quarters. And I expect it to be the same way on Saturday, and I hope our boys bounce back, and I hope we see the team we saw against Arkansas. As far as me and myself, I just help. I live here in the Auburn area now. I'm involved with the Auburn University Club as a partner there. And then my day-to-day job is just helping folks with their primary mortgage and just helping them on the lending process of getting them in a home and helping them with the home loan process.
Well, Will, we really appreciate it, brother. And, again, War Eagle to you. And looking forward to Saturday. You can't look in the rearview mirror. Just got to look forward. And it should be a fun game on Saturday. And hopefully our guys, like you said, will rebound. But appreciate it, Will. Looking forward to having you on every Tuesday.
All right, buddy. Randy, Brett, y'all have a good week, okay, buddy?
Thank you, Will. Appreciate you.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Will. Great having Will on. Does a great job, like you said.
Great job. Opelika guy. Look, I'm a Ellick City, and you're an Ellick City guy. We kind of feel like we know one another, and he was a super high school athlete. I've been, kind of watching him from afar for many, many years. So proud to have him on.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks to all of you out there watching and listening. We'll continue to take your comments tomorrow and your phone calls. Again, we'll be back with you same time, same place tomorrow. For Randy, I'm Brett saying we've enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.